Thank you guys for coming to Stone Soup Poetry. My name is Chad Parento. Everyone else will introduce themselves in time, and hopefully we're getting some new people. I was just telling the group pre-recording, I'm saying what the hell I'll tell you now. Check out oddballmagazine.com. We just published an excerpt from a book coming out in 2022, The Fate of the Dragon, by Jordana Chanamayam, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Jordana is started as an artist for Oddball, and now she's contributing art and words with this excerpt of a book that basically covers the pandemic, living through it, and quote, the new normal. It comes highly recommended, as does the poetry by the lady known as Tate, or I should just say by the she, her known as Tate. It is fantastic work with Bill Wallach art. And I can't wait for more newbies to be added to the oddballmagazine.com roster. And thanks to everyone who is here, who's contributed words and or photos to Oddball. More on that another time. And we're going to get started with the round robin. James Van Lloyd, Jan Rowe, wherever you are, we miss you. The show must go on. We're going to start off with a man who's coming out with a book of his own, hopefully next year. Let's welcome up Mr. Ed Gentleman Galt.
Oh, thank you very much. You have some news to announce. I've just been published in the latest spare change newspaper here in Boston, and Mark Goldfinger just mailed me my copies. So that's really nice to see. Anyway, look out for that in the, I think, the current edition of Spare Change. Anyway, this one here is called Staying Behind. Okay, Staying Behind. Somewhere there is a classroom. There are around 20 or so desks for the children. A larger desk is up front for the teacher, but there are only two people there now. A girl is sitting at her desk working on arithmetic problems. Nearby is a teacher's aide to watch over her while the class is away. She will take her to the cafeteria for lunch, then to the library for recess. She will play with the kids from the next class who are in attendance for that day. They will go on the field trip tomorrow. They went yesterday. She will not go at all. She will be taken to stay at her desk until she completes the sheet. I was Staying Behind. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Galt. And what's the title of the book again? What's the working title?
The title of that was Staying Behind.
Yeah, but what's the title of the book that you're coming together with?
Oh, I haven't decided yet.
Oh, okay. Well, let us know.
I'll take
Maybe
we
can brainstorm and do a poll here.
Thank you.
Up next is we'll give it up for the poet who's been spending most of the fall canvassing. Just got paid today, celebrating by kicking back with us. Let's welcome up Patricia Kerrigan.
Hey guys, just off the presses today. Wrote this last night. Glad to be unhappy, inspired by Billie Holiday. By Cancun cabanas, Dentine smiles laughed over summertime margaritas. In the Colorado mountains, a ski lodge seemed seasoned with hot chocolate and lust. Photographic narratives of anxious fools, legally 21 and over, but going on 16. The conquest of having fun and bragging about it at work. Take a magnifying glass, peruse my body language, dissect my lips and eyes, especially my eyes. Was I happy in these photos or pretending to be the conqueror or the conquered? Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. Okay, guys, if I'm muting you, please unmute, please don't unmute yourself. Until it's your turn, unless you have something to say to the poet directly, please do not unmute. Thanks, Jason, for coming on. Good to see you. And we're gonna get started. We're gonna keep going with the open mic. We just heard from Ed Galt and Patricia Kerrigan. Who do we have next? Let's see. Let us welcome up Mr. Bill Lewis. A man who needs no introduction, but if I didn't do one,
Don't introduce me. Here I am. I'm happy to be here. As many of you know, I am a bit of a political activist. I spend a ridiculous amount of time on the street complaining about stuff. As we say, we are the left. There's no left after us. I don't agree with all of my leftist peers on everything, but that's who we are. And so I have been horrified over the years to see what we haven't done. The fact that we consistently left people on the streets was just like incomprehensible to me. And why are we proclaiming ourselves to be the saviors of the people, just walking past folks? And it became a bit of a conflict for me and some of my peers. But Kim Janey, temporary mayor of Boston, has said that she said she's going to take it head on, and she has. She's busy clearing out the nightmare that is mass and caste, and really for the first time addressing the elephant that no one else had the balls, had the guts to talk about, the cowardness. I get very angry. So I wanted to make sure that Kim Janey knew that there were those of us who really, really appreciated the fact that she was brave enough to do this. And where's my beautiful picture? There we go. So I went down to City Hall. And I had my Bravo Kim Janey, and there I am. I'm not really doing anything. I'm standing around looking conspicuous, hoping that someone will, that she'll find out that someone likes what she's doing. And a gal comes up and says, yes, she is my friend. And so she recorded me doing my first, admiring Kim for her courage. And number two, my Kim Janey chant. So are you ready? Bravo, Kim Janey, you are my hero. You stood up when others did zero. Now, is that a great chant right off the bat cuff? Just like that, boom. So I'm very proud of my chanting ability there. So I guess Kim Janey gets hopefully the enormous pleasure of having someone out on the street protesting for her. How often do you get a protest, huh? So anyway, I thought I would read one little ditty which doesn't mean much, but oh well, it came up. So I'll just go with this one. La 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 la. We didn't have a bully to make our lives a mess. No drama queens that I recall, no witches, bitches in dress. We had our problems, sure, that's true. We had our little scuffles, a bloody nose, a nasty bruise, a star along the muscles. But once concluded, our fight was done. We proved our point and we were strong. The world that we would stand and we'd take punches, the war was over. We'd go eat our lunches. The male will fight for any reason, insults, mistakes, sometimes treason. But having once your valor proved, you can be friends. You're in the groove.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Who do we have next? let's go to, let's take a caller now. And by that, I mean, let's go to one of our many, well, by many, I mean two. I guess Chris isn't joining us by phone, but he never shows his face because he thinks the phone's got to steal his soul away. You looking at videos on YouTube did that, Chris, not the camera. Show yourself once in a while. But he's not next. The person next is someone definitely joining us by phone, who I'm going to ask to unmute now. Nancy Dotson, come on up.
Missed impressions. Mist comes, dawn breaks on. Dewdrops here everywhere. Light pours into blurred eyes. The misty, rainy mist comes. Light breaks into dots. The flowers are in. Petals fall. Mist comes. A rain torrent. Leaves fall. One cannot see.
Thanks so much, Nancy. That was great. And we'll see you for round two, as we will hopefully everyone who came on tonight. Let's see who we go to now. Yes, I made fun of him so much, I'm going to bring him up now. Mr. Chris Fitzgerald, who just muted himself. Now he's unmuted himself.
So you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a lot longer than any of the ones that people have been doing. 20 years ago, I did this, and now I've done a piece on Churchill where I've discovered that was how these three guys got their entrance into the fame world, the poetry world, or whatever. I don't like any of them. I mean, Eliot, Pound, and Auden. God lives in the ever-present moment. Prose writers seem to live inside of yesterday's stories. Snap, snap here, snap, snap there, snap, snap here, snap, snap there. The future should always smell of fresh air. That is the territory the poet explores. Yesterday, let it go, let it go, let it go. 3 old world lines that try to condemn the new world to the old world's fadathon. Auden, from a memory of William Butler Yeats. Mad Island drove you into poetry. Mad, patronizing, condescending, funkle junkle. An Englishman calling an Irishman mad. That's like Danny Diarrhea telling Frankie Fat Pants you have a hygiene problem. Let me put this straight. Frankie isn't so thin-skinned that he can't handle criticism. If Penelope Perfume mentions to Frankie that he ought to clean up his act a little, Frankie responds, I'm spending the weekend in the bathtub. Don't worry, I'll keep changing the water. And P, I want you to smell me on Monday. I'll be there for you, Frankie, I'll be there. But when Danny Diarrhea says it to him, he utilizes words you or I would use. Are you shit me? Plus, I think you just shit yourself again. Second line, poetry makes nothing happen. That's a shabby, dishonest line. He doesn't know what poetry is. Poetry helps you discover the wit, spine, and charm in the language. Tanks make something happen. They lob shells, which kill or maim. Sexual intercourse can make something happen. It can lead to a new human being. Jobs can make something happen. 2 people cash their checks, now have money because of the time and effort they gave to their jobs. They plan to meet on a Saturday afternoon for a drink or an ice cream, if both are on the wagon. Poetry finds a much greater expansion of the language with love than with bombs and bullets. In fact, 3 weeks after Johann Gutenberg had the printing press up and running in 1452 in Mainz, Germany, it was a poet, can't remember his whole name, but everyone called him Willie. On the back of his t-shirt, it said, bullies whack it. The third line of Auden's, follow poet, follow right. Who does he want us to follow? His mentor, T.S. Eliot, the British poet from St. Louis? Eliot became a naturalized British citizen in 1927. 7 years later, he was writing essays about not wanting Jewish freethinkers living in his London neighborhood. Jewish freethinkers had been living in that neighborhood 250 years before T.S. What's-his-face had moved in. 400 years before that, they'd been thrown out of England by Edmund the Digit. He owed Jewish moneylenders scratch. By throwing them out, he didn't have to pay his honest debt to them. As a bonus, he collected the debts his nobles owed to the moneylenders. What a piece of shit was the divine right of kings. After World War II, I would have thrown Eliot in prison for his part in the aiding and abetting of a Holocaust. Follow poet, follow right. Eliot's meant to Ezra Pound. Pound spent 12 years confined to St. Elizabeth's Hospital in D.C. because he had friends who helped keep him out of prison. But he did make treasonous broadcasts from Rome supporting the fascist position during World War II. He also wrote a book comparing Mussolini to Jefferson. I stated before, that was like comparing the number 2 to Chanel number 5. Well, sure, they both have number in their title. I have proposed that if Mossad, the Israeli intelligence service, had been in Naples in 57, 58, when Pound returned to Italy from America, Pound immediately gave the fascist salute. If Mossad had broken his elbow in 3 places, I mean, let him hate all he wants. Just give him a little trouble saluting that hate. Common decency would be playing a more active role in the world today. His trick elbow would be in memory of the 60 million people who left the world early because of the fascist dirtbags. What do you say? Let's follow the person who first stated follow poet, follow right Auden? I don't think so. He once posited an ideal, I guess, in another poem. Was he free? Was he happy? That question is absurd. Had anything been wrong, we would certainly have heard. That poem was crippled by feudalism's main prejudice. I'm better than you, dipshit. In this case, I'm smarter than you. One person be able to find what a rich and beautiful journey the language can take you on, and another not being able to discover that it's words which gives us our identity. Poetry, unlike religion and politics, primary concern is not controlling the narrative, but in saluting beauty and truth. Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. Look at photos of Auden in his 40s, 50s, and 60s. If that face is free and happy, I want to be chained and sappy. I started this work 6 months ago. One of my closing lines was, I wouldn't follow Elliot Pound Auden in a conga line. But I realized I love a good conga line. Those 3, Elliot Pound Auden, were quite possibly the 3 worst conga line performers. Is that too long? The 20th century has to offer. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The conga line was Cuban, Black, Latin, 1920s, 1930s. It was a Havana street dance. Hollywood loved to throw it in its musicals. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Downtown Boston, 1932. You paid 35 cents to watch 2 movies at the cinema. Instead of you thinking about your present situation, poor, miserable, during the depths of the Depression, you looked up at the screen and saw people dancing and enjoying themselves. Dun, 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 dun. Those 3 poets from the 20s and 30s, instead of writing such shabby, slimy, shitty, shallow verse, they should have found themselves a good conga line. Dun, 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 dun. That might have been just the thing to break them out of that know-it-all funk. Dun, 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 dun. It seemed to entomb their verse and lives. All right, sorry, it's a bit long. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. Looks like I was going to call Karen, but Karen has stepped away for a moment. So let's see who I can go to now. There's someone who's joined us by the name of SM Boss, B-O-S-S-E. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Would you be interested in contributing? The person known as SM is not responding. So let's see who I can go to next.
That's a friend of mine, Derek. I invited him. I guess he's not going to read.
No problem. Hey, no problem. So long as I know. Cool. Well, welcome, Derek. Did he join us before? Because I think I remember you bringing a friend from the past. Okay. All right. So let's see who we bring up next. Well, since you spoke up already, and I know you're there, let's welcome you, CC.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I'm kind of tempted to read it, and then this way, if it sucks, then I'll play it. Is that all right? I'm without the hook. Life is only death, but not forever. Rivers only water, not dry bones. You see, love is only everything's a miracle, and you and I a song. Forever hums. Noon is only midnight as the world dreams. Time is only clocks not broken yet. A knife is just a tool, a useful kind one, that no one ever needs to harm true love. A man is just a womb without a gravestone. A child, only tears that wait to laugh. And aging is a series of soul lessons, as if all moments equal a lifespan. Hunger is the price of dreams become form. Thirst reminds the oceans they're not sky. Eyes and ears are always learning to feel further than you see why you are here. Life is only death, but not forever. Rivers only waters, not dry bones. You see, love is only everything's a miracle, and you and I, the song forever hums. Life is only death, but not forever. Rivers only water, not dry bones. You see, love is only everything's a miracle. And you and I, the song forever hums. Noon is only midnight as the world dreams. Clocks are only time not broken yet. A knife is just a tool, the useful kind one that no one ever needs to harm true love. A man is just a womb without a gravestone. A child only tears that wait to laugh. And aging, just a series of soul lessons, as if all moments equal a lifespan. And hunger is the price of dreams become form. And thirst reminds the oceans they're not sky. And eyes and ears are always learning to feel further than you see why you are here. Life is only death, but not forever. Rivers only water, not dry bones. You see, love is only everything's a miracle. And you and I, the song forever hums.
Thank you, CC.
My apologies.
No apologies. We're gonna go to we're gonna go to the last of our phone callers. Is that Eunice Belsey I see there, AKA Silent E? I hope you have a poem for us. Hooray. Good to have you back. I'll put you down. But for now, we will go to the segue to the person who I wanted to have next. Let's go to our second and final person joining us strictly by phone, who I'm going to help unmute. She's been with us from the very beginning. She's not clocking out now. Let's welcome up Miss Carol Weston.
Oh, hi. Cici Ashagra, I must talk to you about David Amram. He was a friend of my poet friend, Barbara Moratz, so I want to talk to you. I'm giving a reading December 10, that's a long time from now, with the contributors to Spoke magazine. And so John Mulrooney should definitely be reading. The other people I do not know, but I noticed in the table of contents, Mitch Manning, Joe Tora, Amanda Cook from Gloucester, and Ben Mazer. I noticed those names, and I only have part of the, but I don't know who is reading. Grolier Bookshop, like 8 Plimpton Street in Cambridge, December 10, and I'll probably mention it again. Okay, so let's see. So Linda Parker Crane, she was a healer in Gloucester, and I think a remarkable poet. She brought a basket of edible flowers to Olson when he was soon to die. To Linda Crane, Zen Buddhist, leader of shamanic journeys. Linda, on your 23rd birthday, you threatened to pull the phone out of the wall, and you put your foot into your birthday cake. At 46, with cancer unknown in your body, you crawled across the floor inside a bear skin. The bear, your power animal. Your shamanic journeys touch 1,000 lives. The deer of your being dance through the wolves of your death. Thank you.
Okay, I heard that.
What? Okay.
Carol, that was you at your best.
Who's that?
Chris Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Chris Fitzgerald. I know what's going to come out of you. It's very interesting.
Thank you, Carol. I had to step away, but I was listening to you via the phone connection we have, and that was fantastic. I am looking forward to your second round, but I'm also looking forward to who's next. I'd like to welcome up Silent E, a poet who we've had feature and have on the open mic years ago. Like, God, it must be 4 or 5 years ago now, if not more. And I am so thrilled to have her read for us tonight. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to read a short poem, so I won't be in front of you guys too long. I was told that the love of money was the root of all evil, but they never said how to use it. Subconsciously taught how to earn a living while barely having a life. 40 acres and a mule after 400 years of slavery to work 40 hours a week for 40 years, earning only 40% for SSI. 401k is a cruel joke, like weak dangling hope. Has me wondering why most people aren't taught how to spell entrepreneur, are taught to hustle hard, but never to hustle smart. I wonder if Ace Hood is still hustling hard like he told us to. Thank you.
Good questions. Hope you stay for the second round of the round robin. It was great to have you back.
Thank you, Chad.
What do we have next? I'd love to, yes, let's have, let's see, let's have, oh yes, I was hyping up Oddball Magazine a little while ago. Please check out oddballmagazine.com. We're always looking for submissions of words and art, in particular art, and we have someone today who contributed both. You should check out the excerpt of an upcoming book by Jordana Chenamayam, who has a book that's being released in February of 2022. February 14th is her planned release date. The name of the book of poetry and art, she labels it as an essay, but it's more of a tonal poem to me, and it's called The Fate of the Dragon. And there's about 16 pages worth of excerpts of words and art. Check that out at oddballmagazine.com, and let's listen to the words of our editor, whose Jagged Thought column is every Tuesday afternoon without fail. Let's welcome up Mr. Jason Wright.
Hey, so I thought I would read the beginning of the last chapter of my book, Train of Thought 2. And it's the last chapter is Davis, as in Davis Square. And the basis of Train of Thought 2 is a continuation of Train of Thought 1. And they're all train stops, and Davis is where I used to live in Somerville. So this is the last stop that I would write before I would get home. So this is called Well Wishes for Sleeping Fishes. And I wrote all these poems back in 2011 and 2012, maybe even before that, 2010, maybe even. Well Wishes for Sleeping Fishes. Wake to the alarm clock, ringing 7 o'clock. I got my phone, don't use my watch. Don't need no locks, my mind is freed open. And each thought rings out like a bell siren without warning in the middle of morning, like an old man snoring away his boring day, getting hired and fired in the same day. That's the way my day went today. Well wishes for sleeping fishes. Don't you know that they never close their eyes like a new dad or security guard like my friend Paul? Or like Clockwork Orange, keep the villain's eyes open, and damn, like bam, the man comes back like a sandwich. A quiet dog is a docile bitch. Like if a stitch in society I'm unweaving, then what's the reason I am screaming out my mind, man? I got to get a clue, take a lorazepam. Got to get a clue because I'm bored of your games. Your monopoly means shit to me. I'm going to build up Baltic and Pacific Railroad, and you can rent on my house. But anyway, abilities and flows, because once you get to park, there's no limit to the fines when you step on my property line. So, well wishes for sleeping fishes. Don't you know that fish sleep with one eye open like Clockwork Orange or a Polaroid frozen? Right before I blink, you take the damn picture. Then I look like a Picasso. When Van Gogh, I go with it. See, I like poetry. Call me Walt Whitman. I dig people who can hear the noise that's on the railroad. I like a sound of applause in my area. Instead of something being lit, then being destroyed. Jump on the grenade, man, and there I go. Wake up the sleeping fishes. Tell them I'm coming home. And all that's left is a solitary boat with a little man drowning, trying to stay afloat. And then the next poem is called 16 Bars. I don't know why it came to 16 bars. Most of us dried up. We rise up like stars, singing like a melody from the kingdom so far, wishing I could drink it away like the warmest scotch. But where would we be without hip hop music, taking care to put it down and know how to do it, listening to the sound of the pen and watch as it scratches. But I'm just flowing rhyme on the pages. She exits the train. Next up is a flows that's got rust like my brain. Man, I'm just putting it down to keep a sound I can make, making it loud, keeping my lips spitting each lyric, the spirit, the atom, the licorice stick, the shit that's sick that keeps you deep in it. I'll never lose it, this hip hop music. Those are the first two poems out of my book, Train of Thought 2. And it's available at Oddball Magazine at the Oddball Bookstore.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Chad.
Definitely check out the Oddball website. And who do we have? Oh, yes, we had to go back to the person we missed because she had to step away. She's back now. Karen Sklani, are you ready to go? There you go.
Okay, so the one I picked tonight, I didn't figure out a title for it, maybe Weaver of Dreams. I wrote it in 2018. Weaver of Dreams, in the deep, dark winter of our lives, when we've been weary of our time in the underworld for far too long. You transform our dreams. You renew for us the promise of rebirth. Our hearts are lifted by the breezes to the light of the sun, gifted with a lively world where each day is a new creation.
Thank you, Karen. And who am I gonna go to now? Looks like our closer for now. Unless we get a surprise visit from James, he just might, I didn't think he was traveling this week, but he might be. But we're gonna go to our, it's usually our musical interlude, but he's our musical closer for at least the first round of the round robin. We're gonna go to Mr. Ethan Meckler. Thank you, Ethan. Looks like I have a request after all. Derek, Cece's friend, wanted to share something in the form of a video. I'm going to allow, see if I, oh, here we go. Share sound allowed. I just gotta make sure I figure out where. Oh, here we go. Go to security. Okay, so I'm temporarily allowing participants to share the screen. So Derek, if you are able to share your screen or share a YouTube page or whatever you
Sure.
have.
I'll talk for like a second and then I'll just give it some context.
Sure.
So this is my first time here. I was gonna just watch, but I don't know. I'm gonna impose. And I really liked Carol's poem. I heard that. I heard Karen's. I really liked that one. Jason's, I liked your slammy kind of style. And Ethan on the bass, really enjoyed that. I like the distortion tone. This project I'm going to share is a little experiment that I did at the Buttonwood Tree in Middletown. And the way that I was able to get to this level of improv was because of my time with CC Arshagra doing a project called Funk Physics. One day he took me to the Lizard Lounge for a poetry night on a Sunday, and I saw some of the best musicians I've ever seen in my life improvising to these poets who were just spitting fire, like literal fire out of their mouths. I got to judge a slam poetry thing, which was a little uncomfortable. But after, I don't know, 8 years of doing improv stuff, I decided to try something else. And this is my friend. She does like magic assemblages. She's like a Reiki master, and she calls herself a witch, and she does like these assemblages. And she wanted to do like a Pink Floyd-y kind of thing, is what it ended up being. So I'm just going to share a clip with you guys. It's me and my good friend Matt, who's also part of Funk Physics. And I'll just share like 30 seconds of it. And if you guys have any interest in ever collaborating or doing something, let me know. I'm going to share. Okay. I hope you all can see it. Let me see if I shared sound. Did I share sound? Let me just redo that. Nope, I didn't. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, we got the projector up and we got me over here and my buddy Matt over here. So I'll just be another 20 seconds. So you see she starts out with like a blank kind of table. And then as it moves on, she starts putting things in like a meditation and builds this assemblage. And the music just kind of transforms with it. And so that's what I'm working on in Middletown right now. And hopefully soon I could get it so that I could do live Zoom performances and it becomes a regular thing. And thanks. I just wanted to kind of share that. Maybe it'll inspire someone to do something similar. So thanks.
Send it to Oddball and we'll publish it and we'll play this video on Oddball.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll stop share. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Chad. Thanks, everyone.
And Derek is the second Monday of every week. He helps co-host the Anything Goes open mic there too. So every Monday there's an open mic at the Buttonwood Tree, but it's live. It was online, but they're back in the event live again.
Thanks, CC, and thanks, Derek. If you, what do I call you? Is SM Boss your performance name?
Sorry, that was for Civil Air Patrol.
Oh,
My name's Derek.
that's DERRICK?
IK, yeah.
IK.
Yep.
All right.
DERRIK, yeah.
Thanks. My name back.
And
Thanks,
if-
guys.
Well, if you have any contact information or website info, share that as well in the chat.
Oh, got it. Thanks.
No problem. Who do we have I think we've gone through the first round of the round robin. Thanks to everyone who is sticking around for the second round. It's just so weird. We haven't had John Sturm. We haven't had a round robin without John Sturm or Jan James in a while, but I love the new faces and the friends that are coming here tonight. So
Chad,
let's-
can I just ask one thing quick?
yeah, sure.
I'm on a phone, so if you could add Jason, if you could hear this, they did a podcast that you could review. There was Oddball Magazine did a podcast interview and it's been launched. So if you want to let Jason put the link into that, it's a very, very cool interview and it talks a lot about the Human Room Open Voice. And I love you, Jason, for doing that. It's getting really good feedback on it.
It was awesome to do that, CC. A lot of fun.
If you
It's
want
the
to put that
Oddball
in there, I don't know how
Show,
to use
CC
it.
Chagrin.
Yeah. If you could put it in the chat for me, I'm on a phone.
I think he's on a phone too. He just muted himself. But we'll figure it out. I'll see if I can link it up on the Stone Soup Facebook page later for people to look at. We're going to start the second round of the round robin. And we're going to start again with who we started with first. And that's Mr. Ed Gentleman Galt. If you're willing to have another go, sir.
Thank you very much. This one is called Ricky and Melanie. I wrote this probably somewhere back in 2007. Oh, Ricky and Melanie. Each morning I watched the way Ricky's mother brought him out to the bus. She held his arm as he slowly descended the stairs and walked in a sort of limp. He wore a bike helmet in case he should fall. He wore thick glasses and a hearing aid. He couldn't speak. When they got him on the bus, he would sit by the window of the first seat with Melanie. It was a long ride, so the two had a lot of time to get to know each other through reading lips or hand gestures. Melanie came to understand him over the course of the year. She sat next to him, mastering his language, discovering who he was. One day his mother came out of the house and down to the bus alone. She told the driver Ricky was in the hospital for a little while. From then on, Melanie sat alone in the front seat, looking out the window on the long ride to and from school each day. Until one morning, his mother came out again, said something to the driver. Melanie began to cry, and we understood that we would not be seeing Ricky again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. And who do we have next? Let's get Patricia Kerrigan back. One more
Hi.
dispatch from New York.
Hi, okay, another jazz piece. For all we knew. For all we know. I knew you from another incarnation. Or was it several? Over time, I became too many people and lost count. In my teens, imagination took time to mature and understand the grown-up script written by yin versus yang. I had ash-tinted hair that grew past slim shoulders, bumblebee frames that cruised down my nose, a pale pink smile that believed in the future, skinny legs that danced under micro minis along secluded Bronx trails near the river's ripples, not far from the 6-story fortresses and my room's lemon-colored walls. We were children inside an antique green frame under an Alice in Wonderland mushroom. We were children coming of age inside my world of make-believe. You loved Billie Holiday, hummed her songs whenever we met. For all we knew, you understood love's techniques better than this novice. Asked me to drop my towel or unbutton my blouse. Your pencil tried to sketch the woman inside the child, but it never happened. I said no, thought you were like the rest, until now. Sometimes regrets find peace, go to a better place. But the pain inside this antique frame rests upon this shelf. Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia. Patricia is, of course, if you've followed this gathering for any length of time, you know she's the founder and organizer of Brownstone Poets in New York. They're coming out with the 2021 anthology. Should be available for ordering now. And there'll be a reading party that she'll later announce and I'm sure share all over here when the time comes. I'll be glad to be a part of that. I'm proud to be part of the publication as being one of the featured poets from last year. It's going to be a crazy roster, so can't wait to read it. And you can order that off of Amazon. You should probably put the link on it, Patricia, if you get a chance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, Chad, but you're not on the top 10. Sorry.
Oh,
But you,
I already got your email. That's fine.
yeah, but you're gonna be 3 minutes instead
I'll
of
be-
5. Yeah,
3
you'll be
minutes is all
fine.
I need.
Yeah, okay.
Just ask any. Oh, wait. Anyway, let's go
No
to.
problem.
Let's go to. Is Mr. Bill Lewis here? Did he disappear? I think the Build-A-Beast is has vanished, which is kind of sad. But hey, one round of Bill is better than none at all. Let's welcome up next. One of our phone correspondents. Ask her to unmute by pressing *6. Let's welcome up Nancy Dodson.
Cool and chilly. It is cool, chilly wind and weather. The dogs come in right away. It is not my turn to go out. First, it will kill the plants. House plants are bedded ones. Fear of a kill makes me bring them in tonight. Frost killer what? Will they survive? I doubt it.
Thanks, Nancy. Always good to have you on. Little round of claps all around. Wish you could see them. Hopefully we can get you on video at some point. Let's welcome up next for something completely different. Mr. Chris Fitzgerald, if you want to unmute yourself, if you want your second turn, now's the time.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
First off, I want to say, Cece Isagra, that was the best I've heard you've done in a while. I mean, you're listening to someone who listened to Muddy Waters a few times and met him once. And I mean, it was like blues. It was, you got that mood. It was great. And Carol, I mean, in 2027, her parents will be celebrating. Well, their parents are dead, of course. Her father bought a piano for her mother in 1927. I moved it to her house in Wollaston. So everyone's invited. This is called, and you thought Trump was a pisser. James Baker, chief of staff for President Reagan, tells the story of Reagan's first G8 meeting. Baker leaves a small stack of papers for the president to read the night before the president's first meeting with European leaders, helping him to get up to the challenge of the world's problems. Next morning, Baker notices papers haven't been touched. Mr. President, you told me you were going to look at those papers. Jim, I started to. The Sound of Music was on. The hills are alive. Nancy loves The Sound of Music. All I ever got out of the movie was a backhanded slap in the face to people living in the valley, walking around gloomy, morose, working 2, maybe 3 dead-end jobs. Can't break into a hum, never mind a whistle, while the people in the hills singing, drinking, dancing, of course, fornicating. They don't even think about getting up for work in the morning, except that one guy 9 years ago. All right, well, I've heard that story too many times. The sound of blanket music. I've always hated politicians who pit those two groups against each other for some short-term political gain. Just say no to Nitwit Nancy. We live in an entertainment culture. Dig me, watch me, dig me. A screen culture. Watch me, dig me, watch me. What's had the greatest chokehold on the human spirit hasn't been communism, capitalism, Zionism, Islamic fundamentalism. It's been the screen, television, cinema, computer, telephone screen. It's not the Russians, the Iranians, the Chinese, the FBI, the NSA invading our privacy. It's you, yourself, surrendering your life to NBC, T-Mobile, Microsoft, Paramount Pictures. The most creative being this section of the world has produced. His name was Ralph Waldo Emerson. Once wrote, "Life consists of what a man thinks about all day. That screen's not your thought. It's not your friend. Just another corporate con. What good is sitting in front of a screen, pissing your life away? Come listen to the poets or do something else, but away from that friggin' screen. Put down the clicker, the mouse and the pad. It's time to engage your life. Life should be lived by you, my friend. Beginning, middle, and then." We tricked into thinking someone's doing something more interesting on the big screen than you in a screenless life. Corporate con. Don't give in. They got a babe in one arm, machine gun in the other. Because it fills up the screen, we think they're doing something worthy of note. It's a basic thuggery, exploiting the vulnerable, but we dress it up as if it was worthy of mention. We give the bastards awards as if they did something. Frauds and fartheads and frauds. It all started when some nitwit said, "One picture is worth 1,000 words." They, of course, had never read a John Keats love letter, a George Bernard Shaw preface, or a Vivaslav Saborska poem. Put down the clicker, the mouse and the pad. It isn't that long a stay. Life should be lived by you, my friend. Beginning, middle, and end. Thank you.
I would have said thank you more quickly, Chris, but I put down my clicker, my mouse and pad. So I had to pick them all back up again. Thanks so much. And who do we have next? Oh, we had to go to her later because she stepped away, but she hasn't stepped away again. She's back. So Karen, are you able to read?
There you go. Yes. So this one's called Vincent the Painter. The painter saw bright colors swirling before him, stars dancing in the night sky. With thick brush strokes, he fed his canvas rich servings of paint, translating the beauty of this world into masterpieces, alive with the spirit of their subjects. They were adored by all who behold them.
Thank you, Karen. And who do we have next? Cece, are you up? Are you ready to go again?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I'm gonna read a lyric again. And if you want, and it's not too time consuming, I'll give it a shot, but I'll be happy with just to read because people are going quick. This is called Sometimes I Feel Like an Angel. Sometimes I feel like an angel or a spirit with the trials of form. How I burn or I freeze or just my fears in the breeze or my tears that are melting to learn. What an angel is might be the ashes of soul lessons that will never die, like the cost of each moment or a lifetime gone by, or the silence that sounds conscious life. To you, yet to you, I may be nothing present, but a thought from the script in your head. And no matter what my will alone says or does, to you, I'm just some whisper across your path. Still, this does not change how I live here, alone, by the wake to be now, as I live for returning my shared presence of being, and what's not here are just dreams to be born. And birth is a light that seems heavy sometimes, all weighted by life playing with real as a war or a fight that cannot find the beam of balancing why we're all here. So sometimes I feel like an angel or a spirit with the trials of form. How I burn or I freeze are just my fears in the breeze, or my tears that are melting to learn. Oh, I guess.
Thank you, CC. What do we have?
So you'd have to ask for the music, but that's good enough.
Oh, well, if are you interested in doing it? I thought you decided to pause, but if you want to give it a shot.
We're talking a shot. As long as you all heard my apology that my relationship to singing, I'll give it a shot. Sure. Could you hear the singing and the playing last time? With the way
playing
the
was-
setup is?
It's a little broken, but we got enough of it. You know,
All right.
it'll probably take a few more revisions. I just remember how Ethan was with his first few times. You can hear it after we play the video. Keep going.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. Sometimes. Okay. Sometimes I feel like an angel or a spirit with the trials of form. How I burn or I freeze are just my fears in the breeze, or my tears that are melting to learn. What an angel is might be the ashes of soul lessons that will never die. Like the cost of each moment, or a lifetime gone by, or the silence that sounds conscious life. Yet to you, I may be nothing present, but a thought from the script in your head. And no matter what my will all alone says or does, to you, I'm just a whisper across your path. Still, this does not change how I live here. Alone, by a choice to be now. As I live for returning my shared presence of being, and what's not here are just dreams to be born. And birth is a light that seems heavy sometimes, all weighted by life playing it real. Real as a war or a fight that cannot find the beam of balancing. Why we're all here. And so sometimes I feel like an angel or a spirit with the trials of form. How I burn or I freeze, or just my fears, the breeze, or my tears that are melting to learn.
Thank you,
There you
CC.
go. Thank you. I gave it a shot. Talk, sing it.
You did good. We're gonna follow that up with another piece from Carol Weston. So we're having a little fun. This will be fun. I like these juxtapositions of names. I love that I get to actually choose the order of who goes when. So I'm going to press the unmute. And Carol, you should be ready to go.
Yeah, well, I'm still celebrating my birthday. It was October 29, so I'm singing. And this is a song I learned from a record in '54 of Gene Ritchie. One morning, one morning, one morning in May, I met a fair couple making their way. One was a lady, so neat and so fair. The other was a soldier and a brave volunteer. Good morning, good morning, good morning, said he. Oh, where are you going, my pretty lady? I'm going a-walking by the banks of the stream to see the waters a-gliding, hear the nightingale sing. They had not been talking but an hour or two, when out of his knapsack a fiddle he drew. The tune that he played made the valleys all ring. Oh, hearken, said she, hear the nightingale sing. Pretty lady, it's time to give o'er. Oh, no, pretty soldier, just play one tune more. For I'd rather hear your whistle and the touch of one string than the water a-gliding and the nightingale sing. I've got a wife back in London and children twice three. 2 wives in the army, too many for me. I'll go back to London and stay there a year. And then I'll return to you, my pretty dear. And when I return, it will be in the spring. Hear the waters are gliding, hear the nightingale sing. Thank you.
Yay, Carol.
That's amazing. I've known you so long, Carol. It's the first time I heard you sing. Melted my heart there.
We love you, Carol. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
that?
We
Happy
love you.
belated birthday, Carol.
Thank you.
Love you.
And who do we have next? I think we have 2 more people before our musical take home. Via my own Paul Schaefer, Ethan Mackler. Actually, I call him the world's Paul Schaefer. But before he goes, we have 2 more poets. We're going to welcome up first, one more round with Mr. Jason Wright, if he is so inclined. He's inclined.
Let's do it. All right. This is another couple poems from my book, Train of Thought 2. This is from the chapter Porter. And this one's called Beautiful Simple. I see a beautiful girl in front of me. It's simple to see. She seems like it's so easy and she doesn't try hard. Blonde hair, Chuck shoes, reading a book. She hasn't gotten off at Park Street and our eyes haven't made contact. She just sits reading, patient, beautiful, simple. I wonder what her voice sounds like. Those Chucks are faded. I don't think she wears them for fashion. And writing on the train. I think I need new scenery. This peace I feel fills my body with energy till I can't see the ghost in the shell, the bullet in the barrel of reality. I need to stop smoking, coughing up something in the morning, smoking during the boring mundane of my day, and then smoking to fall asleep. I wish I could keep these promises to change. I need to change like my clothes, a new world, a new outlook, I suppose. Yesterday, I rocked the show, my hands shaking as I read. The ink that bled onto the pen changed in me like an allergy to medicine, an allegory of the man in the cave. Once you see the sunlight, you can ignore it or explore it. Make a change, it can save like an emperor with no clothes. I probably won't tell you the truth, but truth be told, when I find the blue waves and the green trees and taste the rain outside the forest, I'll come back and you all know the chronic. I'll keep it real and I'll keep it honest like sunny mornings and cancer. Feel something, whether numb or needing to be, or feeling the breeze in and out when she breathes, or seeing my lungs seize while I grasp for air, or the water's too deep and no one cares. I hope that's not the truth for you. I may feel like this, like my mind is an abyss, mispractice and practice, writing poems with slit wrists and with limp wrists and with closed fists. But really, I think I write the best like this, feeling your soul flow through me like a steady freeze and see the image for what they are. Practice moments out of focus. After I blink and growl, show my teeth, and that only shows madness and the ugly a reason to see me as a reason for medication. I am a breach in the normal synapses, a poet who don't write raps and listens to hipper hops and classics and hipsters with headphones in the back of the class. I hate math, I hate meter. I see the lines and spaces and see the empty faces, the ugly scowls people give me when I walk down the street. I only show my teeth now when I eat. I'm an interesting subject of science, a message of religion and defiance, kind of a combination of what I need to feel and what I feel is real, and all that often other shit is overlooked. As I write my thoughts down in this book, for more than 3 stops, I feel free, and always leaves me in the end, leaves me alone with my sadness. It's my train of thought too.
Available at oddballmagazine.com via its store page. Thank you very much, Jason. And
Thanks, Chad.
Getting to the next to the last, neither she nor the last person being the least. Does that make sense? Let's go to our friend Silent E, who is returning after a long hiatus. I hope you come back next week, and let's hear your let's hear your last poem.
All righty. So pardon me for laying on my bed. I have a really sore back, and so I'm sort of propped up against the pillow. Let's see here. I gave myself permission to breathe, to break, to fall apart and be vulnerable. Why? Because I needed to release, to let go, because showing my scars made me the most free, because my tears were my strength, and pretending everything was okay was my kryptonite. Strength is sometimes so overrated. That's all.
All right. Glad to see you're still writing. This is great.
Thank you.
And finally,
That was really good. That was really good. Go vulnerable. I love it.
Thank you.
and now we have the musical send-off. It's usually the musical interlude before James sends us off, but hopefully they're okay. Now I'm just thinking of all the crazy stuff that happened near Dorchester and Mattapan last night. I'm hoping they were all right, but it's not like them to not text me back, even just to say, no, we're not coming. But I'm sure they're fine. I'll follow up with them tomorrow. And for now, we get to hear us being sent off with a melody from Ethan Mackler.
Yeah, well, I was wondering if Cece, would you be up for doing another shared screen thing?
Oh, I could do that. Cece, are you up for it?
What's the request?
Oh, would you be up for doing another shared split screen collaboration?
Sure. What do you want me to do?
It's your choice.
Oh,
Just,
you want me to supply the words?
Yes.
All right. Give me a half a second. And I mean, give me a 1 second. And Jason, tell people to write a review. That his new podcast is really important because he's spending a lot of time making it more interesting, and he needs reviews. Give me about 30 seconds.
Well, I got you
Well,
both.
okay, yeah, I definitely appreciate that, CC. Yeah, I mean, if every one of you was to listen to my podcast, if you liked it and left a review, that would be hugely impactful because it's a poetry podcast. I listed it in the poetry section of Apple, and I'm trying to get more reviews. And it's clear that it needs reviews. So check it out.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Now, Cece, before you, when you get to about like 3 seconds before you're going to be over, could you raise your hand up?
Got it.
I want to be able to sync the delay.
Okay.
Preferably you use your right hand because the left hand's hard to see. It's almost off screen. So right, yeah, there
Got
you
it.
go.
All right. So you got both of us, Chad?
Yes.
This is a hodgepodge of liners. Here goes. Love does not die. Love does not die. We do. Love itself cannot be harmed by your actions to defend yourself from love itself being love unparalleled. Go ahead, be love unparalleled. Love itself does not die. We do. When everything is a lie, except every moment, you create the next truth that will come to honestly die now too. Sometimes I do get tired being the dream come true. Every reality I lives only to feed upon, then wait your reality so you can dream again. You can make a work of art in time, but only time can tell if it is timeless, timelessly a work of art. Love itself does not die. We do. The game is rigged to always think we only win or lose or win or lose or win or lose. Because it is how we are programmed. To never see love is not allowed. Love is not allowed. To the programmers of the game doesn't allow love to be. The programmers of the game, that is, doesn't allow love to be. Love itself does not die. We do.
Fantastic, you guys.
I love it. That was a beautiful request. Thank you, my friend. That is
Thank
the
you.
essence of funk physics. You are
That is
indoctrinated, my friend.
I will see if I can get that up and as its own video by the end of the week. I do have time. I should have time tomorrow to do that after I post the main video. And the
Yeah,
video
you did
will-
that last time. That was a nice little thing. With all the stuff you got on your plate, I appreciate it. I just grabbed a notebook out of a box, and there were the first few pages. It's just randomly went with it.
Thanks, Ethan, for that great suggestion. And
Yeah,
thanks-
really, that was badass. That was badass.
and thanks to CC and everyone else in the group for participating tonight. I'm not going to lie and say that there'll definitely be announcements by the end of this week. We do have a feature open for December 8th, and I am hopefully going to have that information from you because I'm basically getting the feature from a third party, a friend who has recommended them. And hopefully I'll be able to not post that by the end of this week. I hope. I'm going to give them a call and see if I can get that info. But December is a long ways away, so hopefully I'll have more information on what's going to happen for the rest of November. But I do have some names that I'm drawing out of a hat and getting from emails. Some people have already sent up an antenna, sent me in words that they're interested in featuring, just not right now. So hopefully for the end of the year and for 2022, we're going to have a lot of people and a lot of new faces added on, and hopefully some more information as to when we're going to open up as far as being a live venue. Though I kind of feel bad about that because being a live venue means we don't meet here. So something's going to have to be, we're going to have to mix the best of both worlds.
Maybe we could figure out a way to still do both, Chad.
Well,
Maybe.
that's the intention. So we'll see.
I'd be glad to help out now and then. Maybe we can get a list of volunteer hosts for the online to keep it alive.
Definitely.
Speak Up Open Mic out of the Walnut Street Cafe. They've been doing a mixed format.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be making that transition sooner rather than later. Until then, I want you guys all to stay safe. Thank you guys for coming. This is the time when we do the obligatory wave.
Thank you for singing, Carol.
Yes, Carol, thank you. This is where we get cameras on, wave on, get your
Can you
wave
hear
on.
me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Chris.
All right. James Van Loy was in fucking Vietnam in 1969. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. So I am just like my older brother. I mean, that's probably where he was. I mean,
Yeah.
with somebody.
That's a very salient
mean-
point, sir, and I'm sure he was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully,
Oh no, he was in Vietnam in '69.
well, I
Man,
mean,
that's
I
when
meant-
everybody fucking died.
I thought you were implying he was somewhere
No.
today in celebration of
No.
that or marking that.
Oh no. I don't know where he is. I have no idea. But I just remember that he was in Vietnam in 1969, and tomorrow's Veterans Day.
So he's probably he
James
might be
is
doing
in the
something
heart of
preparation.
every stone super.
Yes. Thank you guys very much, and have yourselves the best of
Bye-bye.
nights and
Bye.
the
Stay
best
safe.
of yours
Birthday,
yet to come.
Carol.
Happy birthday, Carol.
Happy
Thank you,
birthday,
newcomers.
Carol.
Happy birthday, Carol.
Virtual hug.
Virtual hugs and thanks for singing.
It's incredible. Incredible, Mike,
great
everybody.
night.
Incredible.
Happy birthday,
Shows-
Carol.
Thank you, Chad,
Happy
for all you
birthday,
do.
Carol.
Great open
See
mic.
you
We'll
next
see you guys
time.
later.
Thank you, guys. Everybody was
Love-
great. Fantastic.
Love onward.
Bye.
Bye.